What's up, everybody? Welcome to Indie Comics Review. This is the show where every week I do reviews of 3 indie comic books. If that's the kind of content that you find interesting, be sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, there's a link down below to my alternative city shop where I sell comic books, buttons, t-shirts, and other cool stuff. So let's get started right away with the first book, which is Bunny Mask, The Hollow Inside, #1. It's written by Paul Tobin, and the art is by Andrea Muti, and it is on the Aftershock Comics label. Her name is Bunny Mask, and she's back to ask the question, is there sickness? The hit horror series returns. Her footfalls don't exist. She leaves no marks. Her eyes are a white abyss. Her name is Bunny Mask, and she's free from her cave and moving through the city, searching for sickness and enacting her own unfathomable sense of justice. Can Tyler Severin control her? Does he want to? The answers are still hidden, but what's clear is that Bunny Mask is going to grab you by your eye teeth and never let go. Writer Paul Tobin, My Date with Monsters, Colder, and artist Andrea Muti, Maniac of New York, Hellblazer, have unleashed an eons-old legend upon an unsuspecting world. One that will make your most horrific nightmare feel like a walk in the park. Each issue of Bunny Mask features 24 pages of story and art with a cardstock cover. That is true. Each issue does feature 24 pages of art with a cardstock cover. Very well done. And in this issue, it also has a standalone story, a text story in the back. So Tobin's pretty much feeling his oats in this issue here, and he's kind of hit his stride with this series. Those of us who enjoyed the first series, a lot of us couldn't explain it, couldn't tell you what it was about, but we enjoyed it. I'm among those people. In this new series, as this new series opens up, Tyler Severin is treating the sheriff of the town that Bunny Mask was discovered in, and who helped him escape the cave and kill the guy who imprisoned him. The sheriff is still trying to get Severin to hook up with Bee, who was the girl who was first thought dead and now suddenly alive and a working artist in the city. But Tyler is still kind of hesitant to commit to Bee, and everyone, including his roommate Rillo, everyone he knows is trying to get those two together. Bee can't understand why Tyler won't advance the relationship or take the next step, if you will, because, you know, I guess he says that it's kind of a delicate issue. He's making all kinds of excuses. In the meantime, there's some other force at work in the city that's doing horrible things to people. But Bunny Mask is aware of its existence. Bunny Mask is going about just willy-nilly wreaking justice, as it says, on people who deserve it. Pretty much, there's people who are cruel to animals, people who hurt children, people who hurt other people, and she's just showing no mercy, and that's just fine with me. But there's something else that's not being revealed, and it's revealed at the end as far as Bunny Mask goes. Man, I'm really liking this series. I was kind of hesitant sometimes, and there's like there's a series I like, and then there's another series that follows it. I kind of go, okay, well, there's, this one might not be as good, but so far, Bunny Mask is getting better as it goes on. I definitely recommend this series. The next book is Cancelled, and it is written by David A. Byrne with art by Pabuku Man, and it is on the Black Caravan Comics label. When washed-up kids show host Larry finds himself replaced by Cruncho the Clown, he tries to destroy the local town television tower, but instead gets himself electrocuted and sucked into the airwaves. Pabuku Man, or Pabuku Man, however they pronounce their name, is credited as the artist in this book, but there are actually 4 artists because it's done in 4 different art styles. Pabuku Man is the main artist. The first part of the story is with their art, and Renan Belmonte, Med Manga, and Nick Justice are also artists on this book. So there's 4 different artists on this first Cancelled #1, but it's done in the way they do it, there's like 4 different eras that it goes through. Some might say it's cliched in some way. I actually do remember movie, I think was called The Horror Show. I think with the guy who was whose name escapes me was in Millennium, and is the main character, where a prisoner was electrocuted in the electric chair, and he ended up becoming this electrical entity that got into the system. So it's been done before in other genres and other stories, but this one is really, I like the way it's done. I love the art. Each artist has their own style, and each era. The first one is by Pabukuman, and that begins in the 50s when this old TV show guy, he's getting canceled. First thing you don't want to do is tell somebody that this is their last day at work at the beginning of the day. You're probably going to be in for some drama if that happens. Let's say, at the very least. And so he goes out with a bang, drops F-bombs on the air, and walks out and swears vengeance to the people who did this unjust thing to him. And as he tries to sabotage the TV station, he gets electrocuted and just turned into energy, and is now flowing through the airwaves. So he uses that to possess the children. What he does is he's able to go through the airways and just get into them somehow in the minds of the children, and have them do horrible things to their parents. So this is his revenge on the people who fired him. And as the story progresses, as each artist illustrates, he moves into another era. There's a 70s era where he's going to doing the same thing to this family in the 70s, a very different family. Then he goes to different countries. There's this family in Japan that he uses the same thing on them, and has those kids do horrible things to their parents, and so on to the present day. So. And I think it's a one-shot. It might not be a one-shot, as it says in the description. It may be a one-shot, it might not be a one-shot. It could be a number one. If it goes more than a one-shot, I think they'd be pressing it, because the idea is really not that deep to carry an ongoing series, and maybe not even a short limited series. Maybe 2-3 issues, maybe, because they show a definite beginning, middle, and end. But this is not an idea I could see translating into any kind of a long series whatsoever. But the artwork is great. I can't complain about any of the artists on the book. The first artist, Pabukuman, has this very beautiful line work and black and white style. And then there's the other artists who work in different styles, and it really works with the book. Another variant, the 1 in 10 book, which I also picked up. I'll show that on the screen too, and then give the artist credit for that one. So overall, another good hit by Black Caravan, but hopefully it is a one-shot, and it won't go farther than that, because it's a good story, but I couldn't see it being something that would be ongoing. Pick up Council #1 if you like horror, if you like fun books that have a horror theme and kind of a dark comedy edge to them. The next book is I Hate This Place #1. It is written by Kyle Starks, and the art is by Artyom Topolin, and it is on the Image Comics label. For fans of Gideon Falls and Homesick Pilots, after inheriting a farmhouse, Trudy and Gabby are ready to start the next chapter of their lives together. Except it's already home to a mysterious force that's attracted ghosts, aliens, and all kinds of supernatural beings for decades. Now, Gabby and Trudy must play by the house rules in order to survive living among the most frightening creatures on Earth in this new series from Kyle Starks, Assassination, The Six Sidekicks of Trigger Keaton, and Artyom Topolin, Ice Cream Man presents Quarantine Comic Special. So Gabby and Trudy inherit this farm, and they're heading out there to become farmers, at least for a little bit, until they can sell it and then get on with their lives. On the way out there, a lot of crazy stuff happens though. In the beginning, they show these gangsters who are having this confrontation in a dark, secluded place not far from their farm. and some strange things happen to them. Gabby and Trudy arrive at their place. They're pretty excited about it. Gabby's a little bit more excited about it than Trudy is. And Trudy is the one who's pretty much the protector in the relationship. But strange things start to happen the very first night. While examining the house, they find this weird room that's filled with videotapes and has a VCR in it. It's kind of like a safe room, or one of those kind of places you might want to just hide out until everything blows over. And they find this tape that the previous owner made right before they died. And it explains a lot about the house, and they realize that they've pretty much gotten into a mess that they may not be able to get out of. Things happen with the locals. The locals warn them about this place is just a UFO magnet. And then at the end, there's some other things that tie the story together that make it pretty interesting for upcoming issues. I really like this book. This is going to be something I think that has some possibilities. I think it's an ongoing series. It could be a limited series, but either way, there's a lot of material here that could make for an interesting story going forward. I Hate This Place, this number one. I think they're going to be making like 2 different copies of the FU version and then also the I Hate This Place version. But either way, it's the same story. And this is I think a pretty good series by Kyle Starks and Art M. Topolin that people should really check out. I Hate This Place, number one on Image. I think it's a good read and a good ongoing series going forward. This week's Artist Alley book was sent to me by someone on Twitter that goes by Mathena, and it's called The Beckoning of Aetherius. This is chapter 3, I should say. It's an ongoing series, and they have a Kickstarter where I think the Kickstarter has less than a week left. And it's already been funded, but it's always good to get more funding in. So I'll leave a link down below to the Kickstarter as well. Reality. How do we know what is truly real versus what our minds tell us is real? Mathena has successfully protected herself from now ex-friend Sienna, who's questioned if she knew the reality of her own thoughts. While she has seemingly escaped her problems, a young man named Arakato can do no such thing. For him, there is no running, no hiding, only the inevitable fact that he will be compelled to question his own sanity due to unexpected, horrifying forces. How do you live your life with real purpose if you don't even know if you truly exist? Is the pills we learned about in chapter 2 or something else entirely that causes this? If only Mathena knew how much easier she has it in comparison. Or is it actually easier for her? What has Sienna not yet told her? Will Sienna even be able to fix her broken friendship with Mathena, or even have the opportunity to speak it? Find out in The Beckoning of Aetherius, Chapter 3, The Voice, Part 1, and witness the reality coming for them all. That's a lot of deep stuff to absorb right there. And one thing I did that caught my attention right away before I even knew about the story, I'd seen Mathena on Twitter, and I noticed that their art was like really nice. It's like a definitely stylized kind of a look to her art. This book, I think, is called The Feminist. There's a big feminist argument going on within the feminist community. I like to think of myself as an ally to the feminist community, but I would never purport to know exactly, what exactly would have my finger on the pulse of the feminist community. Whereas this, gives just those of us who are not in the know a bit of a look inside. And there's an argument going on in this college class about who is a feminist, who's extreme. Mathena's friend has become kind of, there are other radicals to one side or another of the feminist argument. Some that think men should not even exist. Some that think that that women should just make their own independence from men, from the patriarchy. I mean, the patriarchy clearly is a horrible thing, but there are some that actually look at men as the problem, the sole problem with the world, whereas others realize that, you know, it's men cause a lot of horrible things, but exterminating half the people on Earth is just not the answer. So a lot of thought goes into this series. I got to give Mathena a lot of credit because I think that they work a regular several jobs, and they still crank out a book like this, and they're working hard. And you can see on their Kickstarter page, there's a lot of merchandise that you can get. It's a good thing that they've been funded because they deserve this, this funding. And I think this is a project that deserves a look. So I'm going to leave a link down below to the Kickstarter for this book, and everyone can check out the Beckoning of Aetherius. So yeah, that's all for this Indie Comics review. I'll be doing another one next week, and eventually another Artist Alley. So until next time, thanks for stopping by. Be sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button and turn notifications on so you can know when I'm making another video. So until next time, see you guys in the funny papers. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and leave a thumbs up.